Well, here we are hiking the PCT in our Nissan rental car, our car camping setup. So we are at Tehachapi Mountain County Park, Kern County Park. And we're here because, as we've said before, we're going to give Linda some massage therapy and sessions with Blaze Physio. And so we're set up here. It's a lot cheaper to camp, rent the car and camp than it is to stay in a motel in town. And we're used to sleeping on the ground, so why not? So we have this nice little site here. We have water right here in the site. And there's garbage here. There's no, well, supposedly there's showers at this park, but we haven't found them yet. There's practically no one here, so we're really all by ourselves. We trust the tent will be okay, leaving it here while we go into town, which we're about to do. Go get some cake at the German bakery. So having set up our camp, we of course came back down to Tehachapi to go to the Conan Country Bakery. What am I looking at? Oh, for German chocolate cake, of course. But it wasn't quite what Linda expected. Maybe I'll have Linda explain as soon as she finishes drinking her water. So Linda, tell us about your experience with the bakery this time.
Well, I got a piece of German chocolate cake in which they were running out of the good German chocolate icing. So it was a little skimpy on the icing. So my last one was better. But they had others in the case that looked like it had lots of icing on it. I should have asked for one of those, but I didn't. It was still okay. It was still good.
But it was just okay. Whereas the last time you said it was the best German chocolate cake you've ever had. So
this one just needed more of that coconut icing to make it even more moist.
So Conan Country Bakery, if you're listening to this, don't short people on the icing. If you're running out, make another batch and make sure everybody gets full value.
I would get another one. I would just make sure that I pointed to the one I wanted and said, I want that one. We're laying here in our tent and we can enjoy the sunset colors right through the tent.
Which tells you how transparent the walls are.
Yeah, but it also shows how fun this tent is. I know I've enjoyed seeing the moonlight through this tent. And it's just so light in the tent. It's not so dark. So I also have found that I have not been needing my headlamp because there's often a moon, or it's just so much brighter in the tent than it normally would be. Anyway, isn't that cool that we can see the sunset while laying in our tent? Pretty awesome. I like this tent. Don't you like this tent?
Linda had her treatment with the massage therapist this morning. And we're back at Conan's Country Bakery for breakfast. I got something savory as well as something sweet to split. Killing time at the bakery. We're not really sure what we're going to do this week. There's something called the Tehachapi Loop, which is a railroading engineering marvel of some kind. I guess it's a way of getting the trains up to elevation to go over a pass by taking them in a big 360-degree circle. So we'll probably try to go out and see that, especially if we can see a train going around it. And there's also a trail out at the park where we're camped that we want to hike on just to keep the muscles limber. But other than that, we're just kind of relaxing. Linda had her therapy session this morning and he worked her over pretty well. And she doesn't see the physiotherapist until Thursday afternoon. So we kind of have our time free until then. If we have to be in town for a week, we may as well use it for something productive like gaining weight. So we're eating lunch at Subway.
We eat all day, constantly. But we are trying to gain weight. We've lost weight already, and we don't want to lose any more. We know when we get back on the trail, we are going to lose more. So we're trying to put on some weight before we get back on the trail.
I weighed myself at Larry, the Trail Angels, and I was down either 10 or 15 pounds. I can't remember which. So, got to make that up.
I think I was down at least 8 pounds, maybe 10 already. So not good.
This is the Tehachapi Loop, and we just happened to get here as a train was coming along. So we'll see if it's a long enough train. We'll see if it's a long enough train to double back on itself. I'll have to read up more on the Tehachapi Loop, but I believe it was considered kind of a railroad engineering marvel, and it was a way of enabling the trains to get up the grade to cross this mountain range without having to to make it possible, I guess, for them to get up this grade. Because without that, it may not even have been possible. I believe we're going to see the engine appearing over here in this portion of the loop. So longer trains actually wrap around on themselves. As someone described it, the engineer can wave to the people in the caboose, except they don't use cabooses anymore. What a genius, huh? Okay, here's the end of the train, and meanwhile, the front parts are still going through over here, and they must go underneath into a tunnel and cross under the other track.
It goes in the tunnel, so where is it?
Pine tree over there by itself. The tunnel is on the
We're at the National Cesar Chavez Memorial Site, or Center, Visitor Center, National Monument. I didn't even know this national monument existed. The center is closed. We got here 30 minutes too late. Very nice grounds. I just kind of wanted to find out a little bit more about Cesar Chavez. Kind of a controversial figure, I guess, but probably a mixed bag, kind of like every human being is. This is the garden that they have at this Cesar Chavez National Monument. Nice rose, beautiful rose plants. And I don't know if this is where he's actually buried. So is this their actual grave or just a marker memorial, I wonder?
55. I thought this was
He was 1 year younger than my mom. We're car camping, but our tools are still our backpack stuff, so we're each cooking our soup on opposite ends of the table.
soup bought from Walmart.
It's
Deli.
kickin' chicken chowder, right? Kickin' chicken chowder. It's pretty good. We had it the other day when we were in the hotel in Tehachapi, so we went back to something we knew we liked. Sounds like those cat calls. You're going down the hill. Getting farther away. We're not sure what that was, but I think it might have been mountain lion, and it sounded very close outside our tent.
Very close. We left our trekking poles in the car and the knife.
So we had no defense. So just showing a little bit of the road up to the, well actually we're going down from the park where we're staying. It's actually 1,800 feet higher than the town, so it's notably cooler up there. And
It's a very curvy road.
And the road is very curvy and
Beautiful.
slow, but it's not real long, so it's only 8 miles out of town. So it's been a really good place for us to camp, and it's less expensive than a motel or hotel in town, and even with the rental car, and that gives us the car for getting around. So it's been a good arrangement so far. In our last stretch on the PCT, at a lunch break, we met a couple who were actually southbounders, but they were from Spokane, and we fell into conversation with them and just enjoyed chatting with them, and ended up exchanging contact information because it seems like they like to do a lot of the things that we like to do, and they also are Christian believers, so we thought maybe we'd enjoy getting together with them sometime. So anyway, we both went our separate ways, and we got a call from them this morning that they are approaching the Green Valley fire station, which we went through a week or two ago, and would like a ride to Agua Dulce. So we had really nothing else planned today, and so we're driving down to see if we can meet them. We weren't able to continue our conversation because the connection got cut off, so we're not sure we're going to find them down here, but we're just kind of driving down on spec, and if we don't find them, maybe we'll find somebody else down here that wants a ride. This is a place where people look for hitches so they can get down from the PCT to a smokehouse that's in the area, or for other things. So anyway, we're just kind of taking a drive down here, see if we can find them, and give them some help. This is what is left of my ice cream. Sorry, I forgot to get a picture of before I ate it. We're in Agua Dulce. We met up with Barry and Jenny and brought them down here. They're going to stay at the Serenity Oasis, which is where we stayed, what, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago? But we're killing time because they're going to get cleaned up, and then maybe we're going to have something to eat with them before we head back to Tehachapi. So yeah, it's hot. It's in the 90s, 93 or something, but we're on a shady porch and just kind of killing time until they're done cleaning up and ready to get together. Well, we picked up Barry and Jen from the fire station, took them to Agua Dulce. We'd kind of hoped that we could have something to eat with them, but they needed to get cleaned up. We waited for a while, and then they told us they wouldn't be ready until 5 o'clock, so we decided, well, we didn't want to wait that long. That would get us back to Tehachapi pretty late, so we asked if we could take a rain check, which they agreed to. So we're nearing Tehachapi now, and we'll be going back to our campsite as soon as we can get there.